Hey everybody, Kathy here. Do you all know what this is? This is the first page of Washington Academy, Chapter 3. I decided to give everybody a little sneak peek. I'm going to read it out loud, and if you don't like it, you can tell me. Well, this chapter focuses mainly on Tom and the relationship between Tom and Olga. Because Tom, so far in the story, really, all the appearances he's had, he is just saying random facts. There's nothing said about him or anything. He's just kind of the dude who likes to say things, you know? So, here goes. Chapter 3. More people are killed annually by donkeys than they are in plane crashes, Tom explained to Olga one day in the library. It was December 9th, leaving only 16 days until Christmas. Tom and Olga had taken to hanging out with each other more and more in their spare time. Olga enjoyed his company. He was a good listener and always had a random fact to tell her when she was sad or upset. She may have even started liking him romantically, not that she would ever tell anybody. That doesn't help the fact that I'm afraid of planes, Olga grumbled. Olga didn't want to go home for a Christmas vacation. Her dad was going to be gone most of the 2 weeks, and she would be stuck at home with her evil stepmother. Tom could see how unhappy she was, and that made him unhappy too. And trust me, Tom didn't want to be unhappy. Well, Tom said, you could always, come home with me. Olga looked at him. Seriously, you would let me go home with you? Wouldn't your grandma mind? Nah, Tom smiled. She's cool. Besides, Adam and Vondel always end up coming to stay with me as well, and Sonic comes over to hang out. Besides, my grandma thinks it's good that I'm socializing. Well, Olga said, as long as I'm not intruding. You aren't, I promise, he explained. Olga smiled brightly at him and looked down at her lap. Thank you, Tom, she whispered. She stood up and walked over to kiss his cheek. I have to get to class. I'll talk to you later. Tom blushed as she walked away. He gathered up his books and started back towards his dorm room. Time break. Adam and Vondel knew that when Tom was completely silent that something was up. Their blue-haired friend was lying on his bed, pillow over his face, and he hadn't uttered a single word since he had arrived back from the library. Adam paused the video game. He then proceeded to walk over and lie down on top of Tom. Tom, he started. What's going on, buddy? I invited Olga to come home with me for Christmas, Tom replied, and she accepted. Well, that's great, Vondel said. What's the problem? Tom lifted the pillow and looked at his friends. It is great. It's wonderful. It's spectacular and stupendous, and I couldn't be more excited. But I'm really, really, really nervous. And that's the first page. I'm sorry I can't tell you any more. I can tell you that, I'll explain a little bit more about Tom. Tom, his parents died in a car crash when he was 4. He's lived with his grandma ever since. His grandma's British, but he's American in the story. Sorry, Tom. But his grandma is a diplomat. And so the only time she's really at her house in America is when Tom is, like, away from school, like, for holidays and stuff. And so, of course, Tom's never brought a girl home before, so she's going to be a little surprised about that. And then all of the other characters are going to be mishmashed in there, too. More character development with Sonnet and Adam and their relationship, and Mia and Oliver. And Oliver has a crush on Mia now, just so everyone knows. And Vondel and Keeley. And we'll see what happens between Rebecca and Lucas. And what's with that Washington Academy ninja again? Yep. Talk to you all later. Bye!